Hey everybody, so it's Peter, and we're going to talk about tonight Westworld, Season 2, Episode 2, Reunion. Basically, this is an episode where it is literally reunion. Everybody gets to meet up with everybody. Everybody from the Man in Black, a.k.a. Old William, meets up again with Lawrence as he goes on his quest that Robert made for him about the door. Also go back in time. Again, we're doing the whole, like we did first season, we're flip-flopping between timelines. We're actually going back in time to when Dolores, and I'm not sure on the context, if anybody else knows, post down below, where Dolores does go, I guess it's before they're opening up the park. Dolores and some of the other hosts are actually introduced, I guess, to get some money for backing, to sort of like say, hey, we're making up this park, it's going to be called Westworld, have these hosts, and can you please fund it? So Dolores is brought along, but not in her traditional Westworld garb. She's actually done up to the nines in a little black dress, her hair done up, and for the world to all see. Before I get a little bit more into it, don't forget, if you are new here, hit subscribe because I do post on a regular basis. Hit notifications because, like I said, I do post regularly for shows and movies that are coming out that I happen to go see and I talk about. So let's get back into Westworld. So most of the story is, I'll say it's probably somewhere between, well, it's probably before, because I believe it's Bernard, and you do hear a little bit of Anthony Hopkins' voice playing Robert. And they did a kind of tricky thing. You thought, like, okay, how are you going to show young Robert? Well, if you saw in one of the episodes, you did see him walking down the hall. It was a CGI Robert, kind of like, Carrie Fisher and, Grand Moff Tarkin in the Star Wars movie. This was similar, but instead of having him in full frame, Dolores is looking out a window at a cityscape, and you hear him talk in the background, and you see him in the reflection. So they kind of cheated, so we're not using a full-on CGI in the camera frame. It's just sort of he's off camera. There you hear his voice. You see a reflection of him. Okay, that's kind of cool. But most of that storyline is actually Arnold taking Dolores around. We also get introduced again as a reunion. Dolores meets up again with young William, and we also get to see Logan. I didn't know. I don't think he had a name in the previous episode. Logan, I just used to call him William's asshole best friend. I think that is actually happening, I think, when we're seeing the earlier story of season 1, where you see, young William and Logan running around doing their storyline, bumping into Dolores, and Arnold is still alive. So we're talking that time frame. Totally forget if we do jump into... If we see actually, what do you call it? I don't think we're really seeing too much of Bernard in this episode. We're seeing it's mostly the Dolores show. Either Dolores in the past or Dolores on her rampage with Teddy in tow. Yeah, and actually they finally take Teddy into the lab, the show where they do all the stuff, and they showed him like some flashbacks of like, you've been shot so many times, you've been reconstructed, and he actually takes it out almost on one of the lab technicians. He's still kind of not on Dolores' side. He's just sort of like the, lapdog kind of thing, just following along as the puppy dog. And, he is helping her out, but I think she has to sort of coerce him. There is another reunion of sorts, too, where Dolores and Teddy bump into Maeve, Hector, and Sizemore, just for like a brief scene. They just sort of like middle of the night bump into each other. Oh, it's you. Oh, it's you. Maeve's just like, I kind of heard what you're doing, but I'm not doing that. We've got our own little side mission. She still wants to look for her daughter. So they just talk briefly. Maeve goes her way with Hector and Sizemore, and then Dolores and Teddy carry on with their mayhem and chaos and rampaging. And then we cut back to the same, it'd be the same time frame as after party, we'll call it that, where the Man in Black bumps into Lawrence, and they're running around. And part of that story is, too, he's trying to amass his own army to go find this wonderful place that Robert has said, like, that's your game now. But Robert has set up a few kinks along the way for him that he's like, oh, I know there's this one town we can go to, and we can get all the hosts together there and form an army. And I forget the name of the character. He supposedly was one of the bad guys in Breaking Bad, one of the later seasons. I will post his name and picture up here, as always. He's supposedly an alter ego of what Lawrence was when Lawrence was actually a more vicious host. That's the guy older William is trying to recruit, but that's the hitch. That he said, oh, we got this guys all together, and then next thing you know, old William and Lawrence are surrounded by, all these all these bad guys, and it's just like, you know what, you have to go find the door, you're on your own. Robert will not let you. They're quoting, it's almost as if, Anthony Hopkins' character is like standing there talking through the host. And in one bit of a shot, they all pull their guns out, and instead of pointing at him, they point at their foreheads. And it's sort of this round robin, literally a Mexican standoff. They shoot each other, and they're all dead, including the head honcho shoots himself. Older William and Lawrence, they're on their own. There's going to be absolutely no help from the hosts. So he has to carry on to his destination to find the door. Dolores is trying to amass an army. The man in black tried to amass an army but failed. One of the scenes is that Dolores does go after the Confederales. And she actually has some technicians in tow that she picked up when they were in the labs. And brings them along because to win over the host, Teddy just basically shoots up the place, and Dolores just tells one of the technicians to bring that guy back to life, and then it's like, yes, see, I have the power of, life and death over you. You will follow me, and you will do as I say, and we're going to go to find this wonderful place that, on her mission, to sort it out. So that's the whole thing. Again, we get to see characters come back. We get to see the backstory of like how the park got created, how Logan, and actually get to see Papa Delos. And you can see why he doesn't like Logan, but William, younger William, actually wins over Papa Delos. Papa Delos is dying. He's dying of something. He doesn't say what, but he's got some chronic disease. He's coughing a bit like, I'm not long for this world. And at this point, too, William is nasty. He's not quite yet the man in black, but he's getting that way because of, he got his heart broken by Dolores in season 1, and he does see Dolores, and Dolores acts like she doesn't know him, but I think the whole time too, I don't really know if she's just hiding the fact from everybody, because when you get to see her in, like, say, current time after the party, she knows absolutely everything from, going to the city to be introduced to everybody to meeting all these other characters, and you think like she's just the innocent. I don't think so. I think she's hiding a lot of the knowledge she has because she's going to use it all against everyone. As I've been saying, I'm still not happy with the way the season is going. I have talked to the guys from Hybrid Network. I was following them. And he came back with, well, we'll see how it's going. I mean, again, it's developing a story, but I still feel, and I said that before too, it's just I felt I was more drawn into season 1. Still something about this season that's just not. Sometimes I watch something that's like, yeah, really, I got to watch this again. This is really good. Like the first season of Heroes, when I thought like, oh, it's some X-Men ripoff. And then I finally saw the last episode. Oh, great. Finally bought the DVD set. And then it was like, I binge watched. This is before binge watching was a thing. The writing, everything just drew me in. Oh, I got to watch one more. I got to watch more. What time is it? Season 2 of Westworld is not doing that for me. A lot of the shows now are just not doing that. I'm watching them. I'm going to, let's see how this goes. But at the end of the day, I'm still like, I don't know. But I will stick it out, because I am a fan of the Nolans. Like I keep saying all the time, I'm a person of interest. That was really good, except for the last couple of seasons. But I'm hoping this improves. They're going to get more than just running around shooting. It's not grabbing me. Other people are going to be jumping up and down, and yay, we really like this stuff. Great for you. Again, if you really do like it, tell me down below. What do you like about it? What's bringing you to watch this series? And as always, like, did you like it? Did you not like the series? So far, again, my channel. Are you liking it? Are you not liking it? Don't forget, new here, hit subscribe, hit notifications. I do post on a weekly basis. And as always, we will see you in the next one.